Yo, hey guys, it's Beast, back with some more beastly content, and I am going to be covering with you cross-character sharing, pretty much. It's like pretty fun. Also, just making a second character, why you should make a second character, and how I was able to get the entire vendor cap of the Endless Stream scenario capped out, literally just by making orange sodas. And it was super duper easily. The only thing I actually had to transfer in was spoiled food and blueberry seeds, and I actually had some E-points left over. I was able to pull in a drill and a chainsaw, as well as, I can pull in items when I want to. But this is super duper handy, and if you're actually doing this to make more than one character, you can actually make up to 10 characters, by the way, which is actually insane. You can actually keep, like, one server alive. Like, this is my perma server here. I have 8 territory plots built out on this thing, and it's going nowhere. As a matter of fact, I have a plot facility that's nearing completion now. It's nearing completion. I need to get on it. I think I can complete it quickly, but we will see shortly. But if I ever need anything on any of the other characters, I have it all just chilling ready on the perma server. I mean, even food, any food you can think of, I can craft it. Anything I need, I can just throw it together and transfer it to another character's server via the Eternal Land Depot. And I want to go ahead and cover how that works as well, and just show you. See, like, I made, so there's a green food, a blue food that you can make stamina boost with. That's like the pristine rabbit food or meat, the pristine deer, and things like that. So I actually made like the perfect set for logging, and it actually will help you out a ton when you're starting out fresh if you know exactly what to bring in. The more you played this game, the better you're going to get at it. But with having a second character, this account depot stuff is just so sweet. And here's another thing I want to real quickly explain here. So if you go to like manage settings in Eternal Land, you can actually set like build permissions and like people able to access your normal storage facilities in Eternal Land. So if you're looking for an account depot setup for an alt setup that's done across multiple Steam accounts, the way to do that is just to make one account's Eternal Land the Eternal Land Depot, and then granting depot access, meaning they're allowed to open the normal chest there, and then you can place stuff in normal chests there, and then they can individually, take stuff out of that normal chest from that E-Land, go to their own E-Land, and deposit into their account depot. But this is actually how the account depot works. You just click on any storage container in the E-Land for that character. Each character will have its own separate E-Land, which is also interesting on its own. You can do like separate E-Land builds too. I thought that was cool. Up to 10 different Eternal Lands you can build in. Also really cool, this whole characters thing is a really interesting thing to me. As you can see here though, we just took a bunch of our nice looking Buzzy Bees. We did have some locked ones that were like linked to the account, but since this is a character on my main account, I was actually able to pull in some of these Radiant Buzzy Bees. One of the interesting things about the Endless Stream scenario is this is like 4th phase in, and I was able to join an alt on this. And I'm actually going to show you how to create the alts as well, but I wanted to show you just some of the power that you can actually hold by making the second account, especially by making a second character. Now, another thing I want to mention, and we'll get onto that in a little bit, is actually how to join these up in Hive. Now, you can either just join someone else's Hive and have them invite both of your characters and just speak in the chat with both your characters. They can click invite you to Hive. You'll be able to join their Hive, and then you can access all the bases. You can go through your friends list and set up the permissions, which once again, I'm going to show that in a little bit. For now, I kind of just want to, show you what it is that I've been doing and how I've been leveling. So, like I said, it's a blueberries farm primarily, which requires a couple things. It requires glass, it requires blueberries, seeds, or orange seeds. We're using orange soda today because we had a bunch of orange seeds. So, orange soda is what we're making. But regardless, you can smelt glass, which can actually be smelted in the normal furnaces using charcoal, and charcoal can also be smelted in the normal furnaces. And the reason why I'm actually using normal furnaces is because it's a starter character and it's just a speed level method. This is actually just like the most passive way I can do this, guys, because I've been actually just doing this in between playing on the perma server. I think most of us, once you actually get your perma servers built out, especially if you do like a farm setup, you're really only logging on to collect the farms and get off again. And when you're kind of playing like that, a second character is a great thing to do if you want to actually go play new content, especially when it's early access. I wouldn't want to make you like your main character. Like, I don't want to lose my perma save to go play on an early access version of Endless Streams. I'm not doing that. That being said, we're going to end up having 4 characters on Endless Streams here. But what we're actually setting up here is just going to be a real quick perfect logging setup here with the perfect items. We're going to have 4 whims that we're going to be using. Their wood, it's near perfect. We're missing like one item because I wasn't worried too much about it. We did get the best canned seafood we could find, just, you know, thrown into a depot here. And then we're going to add some other stuff to this depot on my main character's Eternal Land. And then we're going to go over to the second character's Eternal Land, pull the stuff back out of the depot, and the instant you pull it out of the depot, it's on that character's Eternal Land inventory, and you will be able to transfer point it in to your actual, you know, scenario world on that character, which is very nice because I was able to just send my spoiled food directly to that character. I technically could have sent the boiled water, but boiled water is so easy to get. It literally is just a drive away right next to the ice house camp anyway. There's water right there you can collect for the salt, and then there's a lake right near ice house to collect. There's also water everywhere you can get. Spoiled water is like definitely not something I'd be transferring in. Spoiled food, however, for the case of saving the time, and you know, it's only like 1 point per spoiled food, so really it's not that many transfer points anyway. And when you have multiple characters, especially if you're going to be having alts transferring in, you can actually set up where you have each alt have its own little job. That's kind of why I call this a one-man hive sort of situation that I like to do when I play this game. Is because it's actually a lot more fun, and if you actually set this up right, you can have it where one character goes in and gets the farm set up for the XP itself, but doesn't use it, hands it off to the next character, and it actually gets all the XP gains from it, and you can just bounce it around to where you use Eternal Land points enough to where you get one character to where it's able to level up without spending a single bit of Eternal Land points, and then you can just instantly transfer in your tier 5 materials and instantly get your armor and gear built up. I didn't actually show you that yet, but I will have characters that are just instantly going to be able to get their tier 5 gear made up. I'm not sure if they're even going to need the transfer materials in at that point though, because I am currently working on my main actually getting its armor and everything built up so it doesn't have to like struggle anything. I just got it to level 40 by the end of recording this video. Actually, I got my main character on endless streams right now, leveled up to 40, and I just started on getting tier 5 gear together so I could actually go out and start gathering materials for stuff. I am really hyped to start showing the endless stream content, but I wanted to start just by showing you how to make a second character, how to be transferring stuff into your second character, and some different tactics that you could be using. As you can see here, if you're wondering how my logging adventure went, we took a normal chainsaw, no chaos, or no chainsaw horrors or anything, and we came out with like 160k logs collected, and we still didn't have a carry weight like limit. It actually turns out that you can get up to 1,000,000 logs, so if we brought an advanced chainsaw, maybe try a little harder, because I did take a lot of pauses that I think I stopped like 6 minutes early or something. Brought an advanced chainsaw, tried a little bit harder, I think we probably could have gotten like 1,000,000 logs in like a 40-minute setting. But regardless, this was like 200,000 logs in like 30 minutes, guys. In all of this, I just instantly smelted in the charcoal, which became character XP for me, which then I used to smelt the gravel into glass, which was also character XP, which then the glass is going to be used in the future to level up every single alt to at least level 40, if not level 50. I know I can use commissions to get some levels faster as well, and I will be doing commissions to be leveling some of these alts, and I've covered that in the past. If you haven't seen my guide, you know, I think I did a beginner's how to start as being a one-man hive the first time I did this, but now that this is the second time I've actually done, you know, from a fresh start sort of situation, it's a lot easier, and I've learned some tricks, and I definitely do believe this 160k logs in 30 minutes was a great situation here, because this is going to help out when I actually go to build bases and things like that a lot easier. There's also an absolutely phenomenal spot in the endless stream scenario for gravel. From the looks of it, to me, they have modified the ore spawns. And the main reason why I'm saying that, I haven't investigated 100% too much, is just because I could not get tungsten until I actually went to Black Fell. It didn't say like any other location I could go to. Like I couldn't go to the high level way of winter areas and find tungsten. Maybe there's tungsten up that way. I'm not 100% sure on that, but even then I'd have to go all the way up there. So I ended up just driving as close to Black Fell as I could. I did end up going into one of like the little dream areas, and it said it was like an abundance area, which actually meant that you got more ores out of it. It was a nightmare area, which means, you know, it was dangerous being no armored, but I was actually getting more ores out of it, and I ended up doing like some alt transferring stuff to where where I was able to just transfer an alt in directly with some acid, and then I gave it the tungsten ore that I mined, and I was able to just instantly smelt up some tungsten ingots. I did borrow another player's furnace. Huge thank you for that, but yeah, and we do really need to get on into working on this some more now. I just really wanted to show you how to do this. So as you can see here, when you go to create a new character, you could just instantly join into the Endless Streams, the same exact server I'm on right now, actually, Endless Streams XO005. I'm thinking it needs a special invite code now, but it's weird with the Endless Stream scenarios. They're actually like phase 4, like I said, right now, and you're actually able to still join it. It's an early access thing, so I don't know if maybe they're just like you can join it anytime because it's early access anyway, but we're just showing it early anyway, or what. But regardless, what I recommend doing if you're going to do this is actually joining either a Anabasis Novus, or you might be able to just do it on a Anabasis in a Way of Winter, because I'm thinking those don't actually clock the events to have it all, only the Anabasis Novus does. But Anabasis Novus does hand you every single thing you need to get started, just way quicker than the normal version of Anabasis or Way of Winter or any of the other scenarios that you can play, actually. Way quicker to just do the Anabasis Novus, unless of course you join a Way of Winter and click events and just instantly claim your 100 Mitsuko points, exit your scenario, and then go on into the next thing. So as you can see here, we ran through the main little tutorial thing there until it actually dropped us into the scenario, and then we just did what the tutorial told us, that we got the Deadsville. Once we spoke the low, it unlocked our events tab. I showed this on my other Steam account for able to actually make another character. That's the other thing I really wanted to cover here, was how to make another character. But so it had all of its events untouched, so it had a ton of Mitsuko points sitting in just events. I was actually wanting to load up a character that had it sitting just in the mail, and then I wouldn't have even had to run through the tutorial here. I could have just instantly scenario exited. But with that being said, I do believe we're getting a little bit closer to the video, but we are going to go ahead and scenario exit out of here and go on into the Endless Streams now. I'm also going to show you that I did actually end up having to use a special invitation code, as well as showing you 4 more use cases of a special invitation code for the currently Endless Stream scenario that I am playing on, if you do happen to want to make a second character and join mine. Just letting you know, here we go. As you can see here though, once we use the scenario exit card, we get booted back to the main menu, and it tells us to sign up for a new scenario on this character. We can go ahead and click Endless Streams now, and as you can see here, if we go back far enough, X005 is still an open joinable server. Pretty cool if you ask me. Did require me to go get my special invitation code. Luckily I have a second device to play this on. You can have your second device be your mobile phone, because this game is on mobile, or a Chromebook playing with GeForce Now. That's how I do it usually. Or you don't really technically need a second device at all, but this will make it a lot easier. And I'm not sure special invitation codes will work with the same account. That's another thing I wanted to mention about the hives. Characters that are made on the same account cannot invite each other to hives. So if you have a character, so what you need to do is either join someone else's hive on these characters so you can combine all their bases, or you need to have a separate Steam account character that is an account that only holds one single character to create your hive. Then you can invite all of your character bound to your one single other accounts to the hive, because you cannot invite one character to another character's hive. You can only invite every single one of your characters to another Steam account's hive. It's weird. I don't really understand why that's a limitation, but at the same time, I guess it does kind of make sense. It's probably still timed to Steam user ID somehow, even though you're able to add all of the characters to the hive just by being a separate account. It's weird, but the other thing is you also want to go through your friend permissions, set up all your facilities, building, and storage permissions, as I've said before, but I do believe this is about it. Keep it beast mode.